Hello. In this video, we are going to take a real life example and look at an effective therapist website, the copy on an effective therapist website, right? So there are so many different ways to write the copy for your therapist website. We've already talked about quite a few, right? The different formulas, and whatever formula you are using, the most important thing is to create copy that connects deeply with your dream client, that inspires them to reach out, right? And however you format your text, whatever word counts you use, however you do your prompts, however you format your headlines and your subheaders and all of that, the general formula to follow is identify the pain point, identify what life looks like without the pain point, talk about maybe one or two things that they can do to get relief without you, and then talk about your approach. Now, every single web page on your website does not have to follow this exact formula by any means, right? And these are just the formulas, templates are just starting points for you. At the end of the day, you need to do what is authentic for your practice. And this is especially true if you have a therapy modality, if your main thing, if your main technique is something that's not as well known, right? So if you're doing traditional talk therapy, if you're doing, you know, probably at this point in time, even if you're doing, EMDR or you're doing CBT, right? People have a general idea of what to expect. Maybe there's a little bit of education going on, but you can sort of do that on one page. Or maybe not, right? Maybe your goal is to educate your dream client about this unique modality. Maybe your dream client has never heard of CBT, EMDR, depth therapy, anything like that. And you want to show them how to heal themselves using a modality that they have never heard of. When in reality, they're not even actually visiting your website. I mean, some people will be for sure, but most people are not visiting your website to learn about the specific treatment method you use. It's to get a feel for you. And then so you get to educate them. You get to take them on a journey of helping them understand, like, hey, this is also different because guess what? I use something that you've never heard of. So let me tell you, first of all, let's make that connection. Let's talk about you. Let's show you that I get you. And then let me explain to you about this thing. So I know that's kind of abstract. So I'm going to show you a website that I actually created quite a few years ago for a woman named Andrea Chilton. Now, Andrea is super duper awesome. And this is a quick little overview of her website, right? This is her homepage. And it starts out, you have the opportunity, right? It's bringing them in, whether you know it or not. Lots of powerful use statements. And you're going to see this, right? Because when you're speaking to your dream client, you want to use their words, right? That's the whole purpose of creating a dream client dictionary before you even start writing your copy, before you even start identifying your dream client, is so that you know what they say. And there are so many ways to incorporate that into a website. And the best way, or one of the best ways, is with call outs, right? So Andrea, we came up with this, her whole thing is she's transformation. That's her niche, that's her specialization is transformation. So we have a butterfly with things that her dream client would say, that they actually do say. I know something is off and I'm ready to make a positive change in my life, right? And then you go into you deserve love. Is that a little too Pollyanna for you? Maybe even for her dream client. So then we even start to go into how does that statement land on you? You may recognize its truth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Keeping on going. And here we continue with it. You may say, I deserve love, but I've spent much of my life feeling otherwise. I want to believe it, but it doesn't always feel true. Then finally, we talk about the therapist, right? As a transformation therapist, here we go. This is, the I help statement, the elevator pitch, the power statement. As a transformation specialist, I provide therapy and online coaching for people who are ready to evolve and create real change in their lives. It doesn't even talk about her modality. It doesn't even talk about what her thing is. And then we sort of guide them. What do they want to work on? My relationship, my family, my work, right? So this is a nice flow for a homepage, because to sort of look at it, now that we scroll through the details, what's the big picture? You have an opportunity. Here's a transformation specialist who can help you transform. Something's off and you're ready to make a positive change. You deserve love. There's probably a painful family history involved. You don't know if you actually deserve love, and you may think that that's not what you deserve. Hi, I'm Andrea Chilton, and I can help you make change. Would you like to make a change for yourself, your relationship, your family, or your work? Get in touch. And then this, this footer is the same all around the website, right? So that's a nice flow. And it's not even necessarily having the first paragraph has to be about you are feeling this, you are feeling this, you are feeling this, you are feeling this. Life could look like this, life could look like this, life could look like this, right? It's not like that. And it doesn't have to be. And that's sort of what I'm getting at with this is your website, your copy can be whatever you want it or need it to be. Now, let's take a quick look over here, right? How therapy helps. So these are the desired outcomes. Navigate life transition, create healthy relationships. So these are shorter pages. There's no rule that says you have to have 1,000 words for SEO. But what you do want is that powerful hook, right? Above the fold, the header, the hero image, as this is called. Navigate life transitions, right? Very clear. This page is about, got it, navigate life transitions. And then an inspirational sentence. The only constant in life is change, but that certainly doesn't make it easy. And then we get into here, right? Inspirational sentence. This is the header. It's the hook. Life brings transitions that come with age and development, all of which come with their own sets of challenges. And Andrea actually decided to do a little bit more psychoanalysis, a little more of the jargon in it, but it's a very nice, delicate balance. And I really encourage you to go through this website on your own time and to just see how she does it, because she really took a step away from the formula and the templates and made it her own, and it totally works. So then this is what I really wanted to show you, that on each of these How Therapy Works pages, her specialization is relational depth therapy, which is something that most people coming to our website have not heard of, right? They're coming here because they have anger, depression, anxiety, stress, or trauma. But what they don't know about is relational depth therapy. So on every single one of these How Therapy Helps pages, she has a section called How Relational Depth Therapy Can Help. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter, but how it can help with that specific thing, right? So no matter what page someone lands on, she's educating them, she's guiding them with a link to learn more, which brings them, of course, to the longer page of what her specialization is and how it works, right? Guiding the journey, guiding your dream client's journey from random Google visitor or someone who popped over to your page from Psychology Today into paying client. That is the goal. The goal is to provide value. The goal is to inspire. The goal is to have them look inwards. The goal is to provide a virtual intake session. So when they actually reach out to you and call you, they have no questions other than when can we start? Not like, oh, do you get me? Do we have a connection, right? It's just, I want to talk to you to make sure you're as amazing as you sound on your website. Is it easy? That depends on you. But for most therapists, no, it's not easy. It takes work. But when it all comes together and you have this fluid, beautiful website where things flow into each other, it just works so well. It works so well and it keeps your caseloads full. So here, let's take a quick look at under her psychotherapy services, anger management, depression, reduce anxiety. It's the same general format, right? Overcome depression, crystal clear. No matter how overwhelming it may feel, we can treat your depression together, right? Putting it in their words, it feels overwhelming, but we can do this together. Normalizing it with a statistic, right? This beginning part is, listing a couple things. You or a loved one affected by loss of energy, feeling sad, flat, empty, but it's kind of just general. Then she goes into a little bit of explanation. What is depression? This is great for SEO. And right here, it's bullet lists. Bullet lists are so easy. Physical, aches and pains, loss of energy, sleep changes, weight changes, emotional, right? As you're looking at this, it's so clear, like, what of this to identify with? And especially if your dream client is a little bit more broad or your specializations are a little bit more broad, it's okay to include more as long as you do it in a way that is not overwhelming. Right? So you see here, this is a long sentence, but it breaks it up. So you've got one sentence, then you've got a subheader, then you've got a call out, right? It's breaking it up. Then you go into here, one day I feel great, then the next morning I just don't want to get out of bed. Boom, their words, Dream Client Dictionary, right there, hard at work. Do I have depression, right? Everybody, people come to therapy like, oh, I'm depressed. But like, how do you know you have depression? A few red flags, right? Here's some things that people think straight out of their minds. Straight out of their minds. Do you have depression? Header, text, subhead, a little bit more text, bullet points, another phrase from the Dream Client Dictionary. My life feels empty and flat, even though I have a great job and a wonderful family. How does therapy help with depression, right? Right onto it. This is how we can help you. Now, this is how she can help you. And again, at the bottom of all of her psychotherapy services, these two things are repeated: how I can help, and to accomplish these goals, we will, right? Let's go over here to stress management. Same concept. Here, it's a different style, but notice it's the same thing. This is what it feels like to have stress. I can't take it. This is all too much for me to handle. How does therapy help with stress? I feel overwhelmed all the time and I don't know what to do about it. How I can help, right? Here at the very bottom, she's finally talking about herself. My treatment will help you. And at every single thing is linking back to her modality, right? So if you have, if your modality is existential therapy, if your modality is relational depth therapy, right? These things that are a little less common, then you really, really want to help on every single page educate someone, because you have no idea what pages they're going to look at. If they're only going to look at one page, if they're going to look at 5 pages, what order they're going to go in things. You want to guide their journey. So if someone's visiting multiple pages, they're going to keep seeing relational depth therapy, relational depth psychotherapist, with lots of different ways to learn more about that, right? My treatment will help you to accomplish these goals. How we're going to do this together. Another getting inside their mind. And then the same footer. Every single page has a contact form on it. This is also important too. You want to have a contact form on every single page of your footer. This is more in the, when we talk about making a website, and you don't need to focus on this right now, but definitely, like, somebody gets to the bottom, what do you want them to do? You want them to reach out. Don't force them to call you. Don't force them to email you. Don't force them to go out to your contact page or schedule a Q&A. Give them a way right then and there. If they are completely and totally ready to reach out, for them to reach out. Is this landing with you? Is it valuable to you to see how this page functions, how all of these pages function, right? I encourage you to take a little bit of time, look through this website, because it's really, really inspirational. And a lot of effort went into it, right? Like, no easy task to write, what was it, like 15, 16 pages, something like that. And you don't need to have all those pages to start. You can just have high-level overview pages, right? We talked before about high-level overview pages. So psychotherapy services, individual therapy, how it works. Together we'll look into it, a bunch of issues that you can treat, quotes directly out of their mind, right? Like, this could be your page, and all you have for launch when you launch your website, and you slowly but surely take the time to create each of these pages in here. About, of course, about is important. Contact page, right? You want to make sure contact. It's great to have FAQs, right? Especially, do you accept insurance? What are your rates? The most common questions. Don't, as harsh as it may sound, don't waste your time and their time having a 15-minute consult if there's no possible way the two of you are going to be a fit because of some key things like, do you accept insurance? How much does this cost? And then make sure to have a way for those who are ready to book right then and there. Include a calendar. Make sure that they have a way to book a free consult right then on the spot, without having to send you an email, without having to make a phone call, at a time that's convenient for them. So I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to drop the link below to go directly to the website, and definitely look around and see how this varies from the formulas. But at the same time, it is the formula, right? It varies from the templates that I've provided, but it is the same formula. Pain point, life without the pain point. How can I give you some things you can do on your own? And that part is definitely always optional. And what does therapy look like? How can I help you? How can we move past this together with ease and flow, right? How can you fill your caseload with ease and flow? That's the name of this course. That's what you're here to do. The way that you fill your caseload with ease and flow is by creating a beautiful, effective therapist website that has copy that speaks directly to your dream client, that inspires them, and that gives them plenty of ways to reach out without having to figure out how to reach out, that feels like a page out of their journal, that feels like a virtual intake call, and that makes it so that when they do have that intake call, they just want to know, when can we start? All right. Go for it. Check out the website, and I will see you in the next video. And of course, let me know if you have any questions.